Yeah.
All right.
Okay, with Bella Zoe Martinez. She is the writer and actor of Once More Like Rain Man, a 15-minute short film played at the Wild Sound Festival. It's really a love story about autism, about autistic people, right?
I guess you could call it that. Gosh, I never had anyone call it that before, but thanks. uh, it's just about a girl who is an actress on the autism spectrum trying to just get through the audition day from hell with her dad and just making a feature that has her in it.
So you're an actress like this, you're kind of like this is kind of like a meta film. Like you're an actress playing an actress.
I guess you could call it that. I mean, I've never seen an autistic character in media in general play anything that's other than the genius. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna make her something other than the genius with who's good at like tech or math. I'm not good at math. I'm good with art. I'm good with all things art. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go in that direction because most of us are in that direction.
So it's Once More Like Rain Man. So this is a tribute to the 1988 Oscar award-winning film. People who are under 40 probably have no idea of but how the way the world works now. But it's a very famous movie starring Dustin Hoffman, who plays
Yeah,
an
that was
autistic
intentional.
autistic guy, autistic man, brother to Tom Cruise's character, and he is like there's famous scenes where like a bunch of toothpicks fall on the floor and he can count every one of them, like all like 200 of them. And he's like it's all about routine and basically, 10 minutes to Wapner and he's got to watch Judge Wapner every that was which was a TV show back in the day, and it was just like about that. It was so that was the mainstream's version of autism, I guess, including myself.
It was the first. That's actually what started a lot of the services that a lot of the kids after that film got
Yeah.
because there wasn't that they just showed one person with autism, but Hollywood was the one that created the stereotype by showing it like versions of that over and over again because it was successful.
Yeah,
Because people
and
care about what they see.
also too, like he was institutionalized, right? So like, and he was an extreme case. I guess it fair to say he was an extreme case of autism?
Uh yeah, that would be like very high support needs.
Yeah.
Uh pretty much. I'm pretty into for me like my situation's obviously different. What's sadder about that film now is like with the services we have now, like he could have succeeded like and had a lot of help if they just pushed him to out of his comfort zone
So
instead of
before we get
like
into your
giving
movie,
in every rigidity.
before we get into your movie, which we will, I'm really curious about it. Obviously we're doing this podcast late 2025. Autism is in the news. You have a president. It's not. I'm Canadian, so it's not mine. Who basically says, "Woman, don't take Tylenol." I don't know when you're. Sorry, I'm laughing. Big tall. It's not funny, but big Tylenol where you're laughing because you're gonna get the kids are gonna get autism. So it's a big. It's a thing that's in the mainstream. What's your thoughts on that?
Wait, like one of my best friends is actually Canadian. My dad always jokes about that.
Yeah.
uh, I've actually never heard of that phrase. Like, something in the kitchen, you'll get autism. Really, that's a thing.
Are you being sarcastic?
Uh, no.
Oh.
Uh, uh, I'm just I didn't hear all of it. Some of it
So
cut out.
do oh you just told I think you got I said I was Canadian and I think you froze and you just concentrated on
No.
me being Canadian. No, but what's your thoughts on the autism being in the news, the mainstream news these days?
Oh, hmm. Well, I uh that's a good question, but I don't think it's news is news. Yes, but like when it comes to how news can be, like it's not exactly an answer that I have full
Okay.
confidence in.
Yeah. You don't yeah, exactly. You don't really want to go there, I guess, right? So which is fair. And I apologize. I just wanted to, I thought if you had something to say, you had something to say. All right, so let's talk about once more like Rain Man. So it's a short film. Sue Ann Pien was the director. You wrote it. You starred in it. Tell us about like how have you made a short film before this film?
Yes.
Okay.
It was Glory and Injustice, but I was playing a character who was the daughter of a supervillain and not autistic.
But were you like the writer and also the producer?
No, I was just the actress in that one.
So this is kind of your first film that you kind of produced or kind of were a part of, I guess. You created.
This was the one that was basically my high school senior thesis.
Okay.
Uh, because I didn't have the normal high school experience because of lockdown. That kind of sucked. But I basically went to 5 high schools in 4 years, not because I was a bad kid, but because special ed kids get more money if they show up and messed up things happening and masks and just everything. And it was basically, putting it lightly, clusterfuck. 23. uh,
Yeah.
that's a reference. If you've seen the film, that's a reference.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time, I guess, right? For
Oh, no, it wasn't. Basically the 16-year-old was the only adult in the room. That was messy as hell, but the money we got from compensation of them trying to screw me over was the money that we used for the film that helped fund my film. So
well, there
I
you go.
like therapy is expensive, but sending the favors through canonical cosmic horrors is free, so I'm gonna take my chances where I get them.
All right, so you wrote the script. So then, so Sue, who is Sue? Where did you meet her?
Sue Ann Pien is we met her through Suzanne Ellis. My parents have a lot of connections as location managers. Suzanne was someone they worked for at Beacon Pictures, and this film was basically calling in a lot of like people that we know. Like, hey, we know it's the actor strike right now, and no one is employed. So you want to go work on this cool thing, and make something really cool, and just have a lot of fun. And you're like, yeah, sure. I broke Hollywood.
Well, listen, if anybody doesn't know location managers, you said their parents are both of your parents are location managers?
They're location managers and producers. Location managers are basically the people that find the location.
Yeah,
And
but they do
like
more than that. They know everything. They basically make sure if someone say hypothetically, I'm just telling people who don't know, like say they're shooting at a bank or shooting downtown, they organize the setup of like getting the trucks down there, making sure the parking's cleared up, making sure that the
and talking to
neighbors,
people
pardon?
and talking to people.
Yeah, the neighbors in the area know about it. It's like a huge production. It's a big production in the mainstream film world. And these people who are location managers, they're usually the first one on set and last one to leave, and they're always kind of moving the next one. And they
Yep.
also basically know everybody in the industry and have all the connected dates. So they're
Yeah.
talk about superpowers. They're the superpowers of the film industry.
Oh, talk about like locations. I've heard of like just all the crazy stories of my parents just like telling me stories from sets. It's like
Yeah,
some of the craziest stories just come from the location scout itself.
yeah.
Like just like any like location scout like my mom basically described it as a fourth grade field trip.
Yeah, with that's very complicated sometimes. And
You,
then you gotta,
you
yeah,
think
and
you think we get more mature
yeah.
in this? Not. I don't think anyone matures past 15.
And the interesting thing about a film set is that you got the creative people, you got obviously, well, everybody's creative, but you got the creative people like the art department and the directors and the actors. And then you got the camera people who are obsessed with their cameras. Then you got the lighting people who are obsessed with gripping and lighting. And then you got the transport people who are the location manager is connected with that they're kind of like in their own little world themselves. And then so there's basically it's a mishmash of different personalities that the location manager has to organize and kind of deal with as well. So they're almost a therapist too, as well.
uh, you get a lot yelled a lot more as producer though. You're also
Yeah.
the janitor on that one.
Well, generally,
Uh,
if you're the producer, you're in charge and nobody wants to yell at the boss, right?
no, you get yelled at a lot more as the producer because the AD and like all other stuff.
All right.
You'd
I
be
so
surprised.
I love the
But
opening.
my dad, my
I
dad was
love the
taught.
opening of your film. It's fantastic where you're a character or you are on an audition, and then you got kind of like the over dramatized people behind you and basically going, "Are you autistic?" And it's you got like the casting director and the producer, the director, whoever, and it's like they're kind of like a caricature of what you would see. And I love the kind of that's a great opening, and they ask you point blank, "What's your autistic superpower?" Have you been really asked that question before?
Yes, actually, but like not in an actual audition, but like very similar, like by actual people outside in the real world. Like people like have told me like you don't look autistic, you don't sound autistic. Buddy, is there supposed to be a certain way or sound that I'm supposed to look? I'm just a chaotic gamer gal who likes a lot of video games, voice acting, and animation, and likes drawing, and hyper fixated on my own characters and writing and lore, and uh, I'm sorry if I don't look like how Hollywood portrays autism sometimes. I'm just a Bella. You can't find a Bella anywhere else.
So why did you get into acting? What was it like? How did you get into acting? Or why did you
Therapy.
choose acting?
It was therapeutic because I got bullied in sixth grade horrifically, emotionally, and psychologically. And
Okay.
it was, yeah, it was really bad. It lasted a whole year, but an 11-year-old being like kind of left by the entire school system, yeah, that felt like an eternity. And I just kind of loved telling stories already. I always loved like making stories on like a camera recorder that my sister had, and just iMovie, like with like dolls or just like toys, and just like making stuff. I've always loved. I cannot stop myself from making stuff. I love just making stuff, whether that just be props or just like cosplay or just like anything in general that I can just get my hands on. I just love making stuff, and acting just turn like acting as a character. I've always loved that. Like I did like if you asked child me if if this is what I would be doing years later, she'd be like, "Wait a minute. We get to do this and have money to do this? And people want to see us do this? That's so cool." And yeah, that's just kind of it was kind of therapeutic for me to just not be me for a while, or just like put bits of myself into the characters I play, because acting is really just letting the words speak for you and just being honest, which I am. Plus, I basically mask 24/7, and that's masking is essentially acting, because as Sue Ann put it once, you're basically a PC like computer, but everyone else around you is a Mac, so you're basically downloading stuff to act like a Mac computer even though you're PC.
Yeah, gotcha. I like that's a good analogy. I like that.
I
Uh,
kept that analogy in my head because something clicked with that. I'm like, huh, that makes sense. I never thought of it that way, but it makes sense.
right, so you got some pretty heavy hitters in the film. Because I'm like the guy who's playing your dad. I'm like, who is this guy? How come I know him so well? We're like, where do I know him from? And then I realized he was from Breaking Bad, right?
I kind of knew him from Amphibia. I never watched Breaking Bad
Okay.
before that point. Look, I'm a nerdy gal. I didn't know him from Breaking Bad. I only knew of Breaking Bad because of the internet pop culture, and that was kind of it.
Yeah.
But I think it was kind of funny how I ended up meeting Matt that way, because I knew him from the other stuff that wasn't Breaking Bad. So it was like Amphibia and Final Fantasy, but not Breaking Bad, which I thought was kind of funny.
So you guys got great chemistry together. Like it's
Yeah,
there's a good connection that the two of you have. Did you guys become friends?
yeah. He's really cool.
Yeah.
He's honestly one of the coolest people I've worked with. I
Yeah.
loved working with him. He's very sweet.
Well, you should watch Breaking Bad because he plays the like not this character. So like he's got a lot of
This is the
range.
first time he got to play a good dad,
Yeah.
and
He's great.
he was really excited about actually getting to play a good dad. Like it's not just the like autistic peeps getting typecasted a lot of the time.
He got totally
He
typecast, of course.
he's
Yeah.
always been typecast.
Yeah.
He's gotten typecasted before for like the one that dies, or the one making drugs or some shit. But like he got to just play a good dad supporting his kid,
Yeah.
and
Well
and that
that
I really
yeah.
like that. And like the we hadn't really met that well, like that much, that long ago. Like, one of the first scenes recorded was uh, "You're not Batman, I'm Batman. You're barely C-3PO," and like he bantered back with me, and I'm like, I knew, I knew right then and there. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get along.
Yeah.
It just very cheeky, and I liked that.
Yeah. So I
But
love that's the scene where that's the scene where the pens go down, and then like that's the kind of like the riff on Rain Man, right? So
no, that was the scene in the parking lot.
oh, but you're talking about Batman. There's a Batman scene when
Yes.
you guys are sitting in like the alley, the audition alley scene. You're kind of like in a weird, kind of like in a warehouse, and then the pens fall down on the floor, and then it's a riff on Rain Man.
Yes, that
Yeah,
was. She asked me to count those. I'll kick her ass.
yeah. So yeah, he's great, and the really nice direction by Suzanne because like it's almost filmed like a documentary where it's like a lot of handheld camera, and we're always on the move. Like we're always on the move in this film. Really nice direction. How is she to work with as a director?
Sue Ann, I trusted her with the script wholeheartedly. I loved working with Sue Ann. This was her directorial debut as an actual
She
director.
did a heck of a job.
Sue Ann Pien was pretty much the reason the entire set was like chill as hell. Like it like accommodations were built in. 40% of the cast and crew were either on the autism spectrum or some different form of like neurodivergence and or disability. And that was really special to me because like I never really understood like hey that like you're supposed to be able to like have fun on sets, and I've heard like horror stories of like sets that were supposed to be fun being absolute nightmare fuel, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't want that here. Let's leave that over there and just actually have fun because we're working on a fun thing. Yeah, it should be fun. So everyone was just making jokes, everyone was having fun, just laughing and just like even when they only had like one scene to do, like they actually stayed long after their call, like just like to hang out and have fun and chill.
yeah.
We had like on-set jokes, and the quality of life was the best I've ever had, and I miss it dearly.
I don't know if this was done consciously or unconsciously, but there's a because maybe because I'm a parent, but there's a really great metaphor in this father-son love, this father-daughter love story, where he's there with her all the time, but he's out, he has to wait outside. So there's great scenes that Sue Ann shoots where it shows the isolation of doing an audition, being alone, being by yourself. So no matter how much your dad's there for you, he can't go into the audition with you. You have to close the door and go by yourself. And it's a metaphor for being a kid because like basically in the parent because the parent can only do so much. The parents still the kids got to go out on their own in the life and kind of do things by themselves, right? So I really like that how she shot those scenes. So
Thank you.
is that was that an attention in the script at all, or like that
Oh, that
just happened by osmosis in the film?
that was unintentional, but thank you.
Yeah, I think it's there though because it's really about your dad. Like he's the character of your dad, or maybe your dad in real life that he's there for you, right? But still, you got to
Dad's
grow
a
up
dork.
and you got to do it yourself.
My dad's a big old dork, but I love him, and both my parents are really supportive, and I love him.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have any siblings?
I actually have two siblings. That's why Zoe is played the way she is. My siblings are actually the ones that animated the end credits. You can kind of see them in background. Like my brother's like sitting in the audition office in the first scene, like after Gerry hangs up the phone, but it's very brief. I think my sister was in that scene as well, just as background. They didn't want any speaking lines. They just wanted to be background because sometimes you just kind of that's kind of how it worked at that time.
Yeah,
When it Zoe, brother takes nothing seriously, and my sister takes everything seriously. My brother's like living with all four Marx brothers and the two old guys from the Muppet Show, and my sister is basically literal as hell. uh, that's why she's also the language police at times. She doesn't like swearing at all because like for a majority of us on the autism spectrum, like the word, like a lot of us have an adverse reaction to the word fuck
Yeah.
because when we're kids, for some people on the autism spectrum, you're like, that's a bad word. You can't say that. And we just cling on to that rule because we like rules and stability for a lot of us. So if like I know like in that transition period like where you're kind of like for some people you get a bit looser and you can allow them to say bad words. My sister's like, "No, I'm you told me that's the rules. You told me that's what I can't do, so I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
My brother is the opposite. He still swears sometimes when he rage quits.
Cool. So the film's doing amazing, right? Like it's getting to a bunch of festivals. My suggestion, I don't know if it's your mom who's submitting. Bella's your is sorry, Melissa's your mom.
Yes.
To submit to like to international festivals. I know I see a lot of American festivals. I
Oh
have
yeah.
a feeling that it will do well in Europe and well, for that maybe this is your first Canadian festival, but it will
Mhm.
do well in other countries. I think there's a universal kind of emotion that's happening in your film.
Thank you.
Yeah. So but yeah, it's how does it feel that it's doing so well?
I'm still processing that.
Yeah.
I'm still processing that it got into this festival. I have a friend that lives out in Canada, and I showed him and my friend who lives out in Texas this film like over on Discord, and like they've been supportive over this film since the get go, and just I'm still processing that this film was able to come together to begin with because I'm like, oh damn, this is my high school senior thesis and it's getting this much recognition, even though I never thought it would get this far. But I'm like, thank you,
Yeah.
yay!
Well, because I think there, like I said, there's something. Well, first of all, it's well produced. It's a really well produced film, and it's a really well directed film. So whoever if it was you or somebody else picked Sudan, fantastic choice. But it's also your performance is there, very strong. You have an arc, love story between your dad. Yeah, I think it's all there.
Hmm.
And you got a message. You got something to say.
It's up to make you up. It's up to make a future that has you in it. Honestly,
Have you ever thought about doing like a one woman show?
mm,
Like a play, like it's like a one woman show about being autistic
nope,
actress. Yeah,
nope.
I think you got it. I think there's something there. So
Eh, I don't think I'd be able to do that if it's just a one woman show. I'd drive myself insane. I need other people.
yeah. Well, the crowd is your people. So
Sorry, I need people with me on that.
because
I'm sorry.
you're because you're great. You're great on stage. You're great with that kind of isolation. So
Eh,
yeah,
that's just kind of a human thing. Like being like I have been othered before, so I know neurotypical people probably felt that
yeah,
feeling of being isolated or othered. It's it's a feeling of loneliness, just and wanting just community.
yeah.
That that's a universal feeling for most people.
So what's next for you? What are you doing next?
Well, we hope we do have a feature script in the works since this is a short film.
Yeah. So it's almost like a proof of concept in a sense where it's like you're showing how could it be a great film. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I do have other projects like a supernatural western, and I also do have like an animated universe that I've been working on for like the past 10 years of my life. Oh God. Uh, but that one's still in the proof of concept.
Yeah. So you guys want to make a feature?
Yep.
So you wrote the feature yourself?
I had help from like my parents. My parents are also writers, and they also have an insane writing partner. His name's Tex. Uh,
Tex?
yeah.
That's his real name?
Uh, that's his nickname, but his real name is Weldon, like Weldon,
Yeah.
but he just goes by Tex.
Where's he from? I'm assuming he's from Texas.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. It's actually a joke from Forrest Gump where he's like one of his I don't know if you've ever seen Forrest Gump. You've seen Forrest Gump?
Uh, not from the top of my head.
Okay.
No.
So it's a he's anyways. It's just like a scene. It's like a joke from Forrest Gump. It's a good movie. You should take a look at it.
All right.
So what movie have you watched the most times in your life?
Um, Nightmare Before Christmas or How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
Maybe the Pirates of the Caribbean too much, or like the Great Race sometimes. Great Race is just because that one's just a family tradition to rewatch it.
Gotcha.
Home Alone.
And you said you love video games? What video games do you play?
I have played a lot of story-based games. I do love a good action RPG. I love when it comes to like I do love choose your own adventures at times, but I also like platformers. I know there's one like Billy Bust Up. That one's like a musical platformer. That one's really fun. Uh there is what else? I love indie horror as well. I love a good old psychological horror. That one's always a good time. Cause you can just scare your friends and then scare yourself. Little Nightmares is definitely pretty good at that. Just because the spooks and the scares, and I love a good game.
What's your
There's
what's your system?
I have I have played games on my computer, but I have played games on my PlayStation and my
You have
Switch.
a PlayStation. Okay.
Yeah,
You have a Switch as well?
yeah, Nintendo Switch one.
Yeah.
Not the second one. I don't want to get the second one. It's too dang expensive.
Yeah,
And
it
that
is.
one
It's
just
like
looks
double
like
the price.
nah, it just looks like it breaks easily, and I'm not gonna risk that. No, thank you. I got something that works, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Nintendo's gotten too expensive and too greedy, so I'm like, no. Uh,
Yeah.
I just it's hard to afford games for my Nintendo Switch now, so I'm like, well, I guess I'm just gonna be happy with the games that I do have, and for the consoles
Yeah.
the stuff that I can play. So that's a win for me.
Yeah.
Uh, I had played like Splatoon on that. I still pretty good at that. I love that game. Um, I played Just Shapes and Beats before, but I didn't beat the final area. And when I switched accounts to like the Switch that I have now, because I used to share the Nintendo Switch with my brother before I got my own, and I'm like, ah, dang it, I'm back at square zero. No, my saves. It was a true pain because I'm like, I'm gonna have to go through that all over again, and that's a whole playlist of songs of trying not to die. Yay! Said nobody in the chat. Woo! I mean, I was happy to do it again, but like, still, the pain was there.
All right. Well, you're all set up. It seems like you got a good proof of concept. It's film's good, doing well in the festival circuit. It's doing amazing. You got yeah, you're on to something. Nice performance, by the way, too. You did a hell of a job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So is Matt Jones is going to be in the feature as well?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay. All right. On that note, I wish you the best of luck. I would love to talk to you again when if it's made again or keep making movies, keep writing, keep doing it. You're onto something, and I really appreciate your time. And let's talk again when you make your next film.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.